Hello, everyone, and welcome to Almost Real, an honest talk between two friends. My name is Josh.
And I'm Camilla. Hi.
Today, Camilla, I had a thought. But before we get into my thinking and thoughts, how are you doing? What's new with you? How's life?
I bought Christmas decorations.
It's very exciting.
I know. I wanted to buy garland. Garland, is that
Mhm.
the word?
Garland, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because I saw this DIY thing where you buy a shower curtain rod, you put some garland over it, some bubbles,
Sure, yeah.
sprinkles, I don't know, anything, stuff. And you can hang it between, like basically the idea was instead of a door, like the place where the door should be, without any hooks or any. So it's an easy attached garland in between your rooms. But basically, I have a very big room, like a living room and a dining room. And in between, there is like an arch, kind of an arch. It's not an arch because it's square.
Okay.
And I wanted to
So
put
like a
that there.
doorway.
Yeah.
It's like a doorway. Okay.
Yeah,
You
but
have a doorway without a door.
but it's huge. It's like 230 centimeters. So it's not really for a door.
Like 2.3 meters.
Yeah, no, I'm confused.
230 centimeters is too. You know what? Hey, we're not a math podcast. We're not a science
No.
podcast. You know what? Honestly, maybe not even that smart of a podcast. Okay.
But an honest one.
And I don't know why I'm so fixated on this or so focused on this. Okay, you have a large room with
I
a
do.
large doorway,
Yeah,
archway
sort of. Yeah.
thing, a large space that lets you
Yeah.
to travel from one point to another point through a wall, like a fancy hole in the wall. Is it 2.3 meters or 230 centimeters wide or tall?
Wide.
That is very large.
I know, right? And that's where I want to put a garland.
2.3 meters. Okay.
Wait, no, 2.3 meters should be 2,300 centimeters.
That'd be 2 kilometers. That'd be.
I'm so bad at math. I'm so
the
frustrated
beauty...
because I'm literally in a computer science department now, and my husband is a mathematician. I feel so bad for not knowing
I'm so
this
excited
stuff.
for him to listen to this.
He already listened to me not knowing his height. Now he will find out that I don't know math.
Anyway,
what you were asking me, what did I do? I bought some Christmas decoration. I should have
Yes.
stopped there.
well, yes, honestly, yes, probably. Okay, so it's 2.3 meters. I would say that's not a doorway. That's just a full. You just don't have a wall there.
Yeah, it just literally feels like they removed the wall there. Also, I bought a stool that I could use to make a DIY tower helper for my daughter, which I was supposed to do years ago, and probably she doesn't need it anymore, but I still gonna do it.
So, obviously you're watching a bunch of DIY stuff. Obviously you are in this like DIY mindset. Now, Camilla, I
Yeah.
don't know this about you. This is something I maybe would like to learn because I often will see a project online or get the idea for a project, and then I will buy the materials for the project. And then if I get to the project, it's not until many months later. And it always turns out much worse than I was expecting. Case in point, I hung a like flexible curtain rod for recording so that the sound hopefully is better quality. I don't know if it's actually working, but it looks awful. It looks real bad. I'll show you sometime. I'll send pictures. But is it similar with you? Would you say it's fairly similar? You get inspired by something you see online and you're like, I gotta do this. It looks so cool. I want to do this so bad. You buy all the stuff to do it, and then it just either sits in the corner for like multiple months, or you do it and it doesn't turn out great. Or are you like, I got it, you do it and it looks good?
Well. Actually,
You're being very coy about this. It really depends if it's a hard project or if it's an easy project.
No, seriously, because I mean, the problem is that my brain does not really understand how hard some things could be. And whenever I see a DIY project within like 30 seconds, like there is a like kabam, and there is a gorgeous dining table that you could make for just $20 with some epoxy and some dried flowers. Come on, you can do that. And I'm like, now I'm smart. I go to my dad And I'm like, hey, Dad, I want to do this. He's like, no, 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 no. You don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay, why? And he explains to me how many different equipment I actually really need in order for this to be smooth and beautiful and gorgeous, just like on the picture. And then I actually count how much money I have to spend on that. And that is just for this table. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to IKEA and I'm just going to buy a dining table there.
Yeah, a lot of the time these things are not cheap. Um,
No, no, yeah. But
yeah.
but but
Mm,
but but but
mm,
there are lots
mm.
of projects for like kids, and they take much less time and much less equipment. And I try to do most of them because they're interesting. But the main
So it's
problem
not
is
for
that
your daughter, it's for you.
no, it's for my daughter. It's for my
Is
daughter.
it? Because it's
My
you're like, I
daughter.
like to do them.
My
They're
daughter.
interesting and they're easy and they're not that
Just
expensive. You just cut to Camilla with like some pipe cleaner making little flowers. Alice is sitting in the corner like, "Mommy, can I play?" And you're like, "No, no, 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 no. Mommy's got to figure this out first."
it hurts.
Oh, is it true?
I think my mom thinks that I like it more than Alice, but the problem is,
You do.
kinda,
That's the
yeah,
problem.
kinda. I mean, the thing is that I want my daughter to be excited about them as well,
Mm-hmm.
but anytime I do them, well, some of them are cool. Some of them, just the problem is that kids develop differently. And some kids are into one things and some kids are into other things. And there is no like real basic line for them all. Like lots of mom are trying to see like all this developmental stages. But the problem is that like my daughter was way ahead in some aspects of life development and way behind in others. And up till now, she's very like it fluctuates a lot. And I guess it's normal. All kids are very different. So whenever I see a DIY activity for a 2 year old, I try to make it, but she doesn't always like it.
I just the whole time you're explaining about like this kid is different because they're more advanced in this and this kid is not as advanced in this but they're really good at this. I'm thinking, are you comparing yourself to your daughter? Like you're
No,
like, this kid,
no.
me, Camilla, is really good at making pipe cleaner flowers, but this kid,
But
my
still,
daughter, not so good at making pipe cleaner flowers, but we all develop differently. We're all at
no,
different stages
no,
in our
no.
lives, in our journey, our DIY journey.
I'm talking about actual kids I see in my life because I see lots of kids now, and they're very different. I actually never imagined how kids are different from like day one they're born. I thought they kind of develop their personality later, and at the beginning they're all kind of the same.
They
No,
they kind of are though. Like a three
no.
week old is basically going to be the same mostly across the board.
All right, all right. Well, 3 weeks old probably. Although still,
You said fresh born, and I'm thinking a
I
crying
mean,
potato is pretty similar.
they are crying differently.
Oh,
They're
it's different
crying for different
accents. They speak differently.
they're crying for different reasons. No, they are the way they sleep, the sleeping patterns. Like some kids don't like to bathe. Some kids like it. It's no, okay, fine. The moment I realized that is probably when we met with our antenatal group, and our kids were about 6 months old,
Mm-hmm.
and some of them started crawling, some of them did not. And just the way they explored the world was so different. There was one boy, and he literally crawled away from everyone, like as far as he could. From his mom, he didn't care where his mom was. He just wanted to explore. Like Alice was more of a like she wanted to communicate. She wanted to see what others are up to. She's like, okay, let's see. There were other kids who were like, meh, I don't really know what's happening. Oh, there are some toys here. I'm gonna play with them. So, and they're like, they're already into different things, even though they don't have that many things to be into. But there you go.
Yeah, I will agree with you. 6 months and kind of more. I think. I mean, of course, the older kids get, the more different they become. Um,
100%.
yeah, it's just it is what it is. And especially if you're, I don't know, in your late 20s or if you're 2 years old, it changes again. how well you're going to make a pipe cleaner flower, right?
Or how are you going to learn math? Probably never.
Yeah. What are centimeters, meters, and kilometers? Who even know?
You will never know. Or maybe you will one day, but not today.
Just see you going to the store looking, being like, okay, I need to get a kilogram of flour. No, that's so much. That's 1,000 grams.
I never wanted to buy a kilo of flowers.
Oh no, a flour, like the flour, like the stuff you bake with. A kilogram of flour is not a lot of flour.
Baking flour? Oh, flour. Oh. That's like, I have this problem. Anytime people ask me, like, what's my daughter's name is, I'm like, Alice. And they're like, what? I'm like, Alice, like Alice in Wonderland. And they're like, oh, Alice. And they say it somehow a little bit differently, but it sounds the same to me. And I'm like, I just said that. Why are you repeating the same? Although, as I've been calling her Allison for like first whole year, I started
But her
doubting,
name's
like,
not Allison,
I
though,
know,
right?
I know. And I
Why
was
are
like,
you calling your child by the wrong name? What is this, Camilla?
I can call my child whatever I want.
No, fair. You're gonna end up paying for the therapy when she's, in her teens. So it's, it.
So, well, anyway, I do call her now Zaychik in Russian.
For those who don't know Russian, Zaychik is bunny in.
And yeah, and she looks at me and she says, Alice Bunny. But sometimes she's like, Alice not Bunny. I'm like, you don't want me to call you Bunny? She's like, no. Okay, I'll stop. Anyway, how are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing well. There's not a ton that's new with me. A quick update, Josh Wilson update. Got laser eye surgery not that long ago. Went well. It's a short and relatively painless process. The worst part is, they're telling you, okay, are you okay with like confined spaces? Are you okay with lying down on your back, et cetera, et cetera? Are you okay with the smell of burning? And instantly your mind goes to, oh, I get to smell my eyeball burn as they shoot a high-powered laser at it. This is not the case. It's there is a burning smell, but it's like the smell of ozone burning. It's like the smell of laser, which is unpleasant, but not as much as like burning skin. So yeah. Oh, Camilla's moving cameras around.
Laura?
Not even listening to my stories.
I
You
am
asked the
listening.
question.
I am listening.
And then oh, sure. Yeah. Oh, Josh, how are you doing? How are you doing? Let me just adjust my cameras and lights.
I'm all ears.
I was just up in Quesnel, BC, which is a small town about 8 hours north of Vancouver, northeast. Yeah, so did a show up there with my sister and my mom.
Oh, I saw your wife's stories on Instagram. I think it was from that show.
I didn't even know she posted stories from there. Yes, it was a fun show. I had a good time. I think the show went really well. We were just there for the weekend, then we came back down. I have a couple of upcoming improv shows, flying off to Russia soon, see some family. So hopefully, fingers crossed that goes well. Because there's still some small concerns about
Small.
concerns.
The moment my mom found out that you're going to Russia, she was like, no. But I hope everything will be all right.
Everything will be fine. I will be fine. Fingers crossed.
Just in case I know great lawyers, give me a call. I'll help.
Okay, perfect. Awesome. So yeah, that's basically it. That's basically all that's new with me. Anyway, well, now that we've caught up with each other, Camilla, I think it's time to get into the meat of the episode.
Sure.
Yum yum yum.
Yeah.
So my thought, my idea, my brain process, as it were, is there are these 36 questions that have been proven, I say with massive quotes around the word proven, to make people fall in love. Right? So I'm a little skeptical.
Let's see.
I'm a little skeptical.
I already did a heart.
You already made a heart. We're already there. We can probably skip down to question number 24. So the idea is you ask these 36 questions, ask and answer, you share this, and then at the end you hold eye contact for 4 minutes.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Stare into each other's eyes for 4 minutes.
Oh, dear.
Now, that's not great for podcasting, or probably really video for that matter. So I thought we'd probably skip that. Yeah, and so I thought this was a good way for us to maybe fall in love with each other, and maybe the audience to fall in love with us as well, and us to fall in love with the audience, even though they're only listening. They can post their answers to the questions, they can give us some feedback, and we'll fall in love with them as well. So I thought just a lot of love, just a lot of love today.
All right,
Okay.
let's get into
Well,
it.
since I'm the one with the questions, I guess I'll ask the questions, and yeah, we'll maybe take turns answering or go through it. We'll figure it out as we go. There's no hard set rule. But yeah, here's the first set of questions. And question number 1, Camilla, are you ready? Okay. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Ryan Gosling.
I knew it was gonna be Ryan Gosling. I knew it. I absolutely knew it.
Sorry. I just watched a few videos with him. I'm like, damn. I know he's married and
All
I'm
right.
married, but damn.
If the stars aligned, right?
Well, no, but damn.
Okay. I guess my answer would be, who would I don't even see. This is the hard part, is I have anyone in the world to choose to have dinner with. I'm gonna choose, I want to say Ian McKellen.
Oh.
Yeah, I would love to sit down with Ian McKellen and just talk. I think that would be incredible.
Yeah, true.
All right. Question 1 done. How are we feeling?
I'm thinking about Ryan Gosling and Ian McKellen now.
Ooh, what a pair. What a match that would be.
Actually,
Fun little three-way.
I think it would be a bad match.
I don't think so. Two incredibly charming people getting together. Like, I would be, for me, if I was to have dinner with Ryan Gosling and Ian McKellen, I would just be so nervous and worried that I was never, like, I'm never going to be as cool as them.
Oh,
I'm never going to be as, like, interesting.
it's not about
Well,
that.
I the bar is so high.
Oh, come
And
on.
I can barely jump a meter over the fence.
And we're back to math.
We're always back to math. All right. Well, question number 2.
Yeah.
Question number 2. Would you like to be famous? And in what way would you like to be famous?
Wow. Well, yes, I would. I would. I have been thinking about this a lot. And I always changed my mind. But I think that the real and the truthful answer is that I would love to be famous. Would I love to be famous? Actually, for being the true me, the true self. I'm funny and I love to make people laugh and have fun. And just for my personality, I guess. I don't know in what way it could be shown, consumed, I don't know, described, but yeah, just for being me. It's just me saying that, oh please, people love me.
My answer to the question, would I like to be famous? No, absolutely not. Fame is breeds chaos. It's, I don't know. I don't know if I want that many people in my life. So I myself would not like to be famous, but I would like the work that I do to be famous. So I don't necessarily need, like, my gratification would come from, being involved with something or being involved with someone or doing a project or a thing that became bigger than myself. So maybe I was known to be tied to it, but maybe people just don't care about me. I think that would be fantastic, because I don't want to deal with the people asking for autographs and wanting to take pictures, and that's fun and that's cool, but for a bit, but like to be like truly famous and to have, you can't go out to a cafe to eat lunch, that sounds awful.
You still can. What's the problem?
You're going to be constantly interrupted,
Oh.
right?
Oh.
Now you want to change your answer?
No, I started thinking of like famous people I know who I would probably want to be like as famous, and they are pretty like big deals. And I started thinking maybe I mean, There is also like, anyway, let's get back to the questions. That
Let's keep going. Okay, so number 3. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you are going to say? Why?
never.
Never.
No. Never. It's
Whoa.
always completely improvised.
Whoa. Wild. Why?
Yeah.
Why don't you
I don't
practice? You
know.
just don't care?
No, I love to be spontaneous. I kind of, maybe the only thing, if it's an important call, then I'd point out for myself the things that I need to cover within the call and during the call. And yeah, that I'd have. I usually forget about the notes that I have while I'm talking because, yeah, I just love to improvise and go with the flow. It's very different. It all is always very different, depending on the person you're talking to. Also, when I was little, I usually made toasts. And weird enough, I was always expected to give a speech, even though I was very young. And everyone was very moved by all the speeches I made every time. And I was so proud that they
Mm-hmm.
were all improvised because they were based on a good level of knowledge of a person I was talking about. And like my wish to bring like the best out of this person and like to show how good or what good is in the future for this person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I just love that. I love the feeling of spontaneous things. I love improv. Yeah, so no, I never rehearse. Only if like it's a huge speech, I'd probably rehearse in front. It's a very important speech. I think I rehearsed my dissertation.
You think you rehearsed your dissertation?
I think I rehearsed the presentation. Yeah, I'm not sure though, because I mean, if I know the stuff, I don't. I mean, and I have the slide. I don't need to really properly script out.
It's so interesting. So I definitely rehearse what I'm going to say if I'm making a phone call all the
Mm.
time. Less so though with like presentations or things like that. That I'm usually a bit more free form with, but there's something about the phone that I find very intimidating and I get very anxious about. Maybe it's because I'm a millennial. Maybe it's because we only want to text. We never want to call on the phone. But there's an intimidation to speaking on the phone that I get anxious about. So I have to like I guess to mentally prepare myself, and I do it like subconsciously. I just start speaking, and then have an idea of where I'm going.
I'm not a fan of telephone calls, and I'm always like this person, like I don't want to pick this up. No, I don't want to call. I don't. Want... Oh, hi. How you doing? Is this been? Are you all right? And stuff like that. So I'm always like this, and my husband always like he's like, what the hell? Why? But yeah, I'm like that. I am. There is a phrase for this. Like I'm a hidden introvert. Like I'm an extroverted introvert. So like I don't want to talk to people, but if I get to talk to people, I'm pretty comfortable with that.
What I know about you, Camilla, I'd probably say you're more extroverted, definitely more than myself.
Although I did think we were kind of on the same level, but yeah, as long as we're doing this podcast,
I'm super introverted.
yeah, you're much more
Yeah.
introverted than I thought you were.
Yeah, I don't want to be famous. All right. Question number
Yeah.
4. What would
Uh-huh.
constitute a perfect day for you?
Hmm. I guess going for a walk, doing something quiet, like yeah, just listening to some sounds around. Maybe filming some videos. I love filming videos. And I also love filming and taking pictures. Maybe doing that. Would I love to do some work? No. Would I love to think about my startup ideas that I have and people who I can talk to? Yes. Would I love to talk to someone? I'd love to meet with some friends. That'd be nice. I'd go to the theater.
Yeah.
I'd go to a show. I'd love to perform myself if there would be an opportunity. And what else can I pack in the day? I'd love to spend time with my daughter actually and my husband, just like a chill day out. And yeah, maybe a nice dinner with my husband alone. We haven't done this in a while. Yeah.
So you have a day of going for walks with your family, dinner with your husband, meeting with friends, going to the theater, watching a show, performing in a show. Well, it sounds lovely. That sounds like a great day. My perfect day would be something where I'm busy, but I'm not rushed. So like there's stuff to do, but I always have enough time to like get to the place I need to go or do the thing I need to do I never feel like I'm rushed or under pressure. Everything's like just works. I know that myself, I don't do well if it is like, this is a nothing day, right? Like, this is a day I can just sit on the computer and watch shows or play video games or whatever it is. I don't do great in that. I need to have something somewhat productive. So, a perfect day for me is a productive and full day, but not a busy day. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Intriguing, I'd rather say.
Yeah. Yeah. And it probably would involve some sort of maybe performance or meeting with people or some sort of social thing, quiet, probably social thing. And yeah, maybe hanging out with my wife. Question number 5. I think I think we're both going to have an answer to this. When did you last sing to yourself, to someone else?
I sat in the car. I sat in the car tonight. Today.
I don't think I've sung yet today, but definitely yesterday, almost every day. I actually will know if I'm not doing well mentally if it's been a while since I've sung to myself.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same
yeah,
actually. Same.
yeah.
Anytime I start singing, I'm like, ooh, I'm all right.
And I often sing to my wife, probably much to her chagrin.
I often sing to my daughter.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, although recently, anytime she listens to music, she tells me, no singing, mommy. And I'm like, ooh, that's hard, but okay.
I often also sing to my cat. Anyway, number 6. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or the body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
So if I keep the body, I keep the brain of a 90-year-old.
Yes, your brain is old and ages.
Huh, I probably have dementia.
It's potentially not. There's people who are whip crack smart.
No, let's keep the mind of a 30-year-old. I can always work on my body. It's a bit harder to work on a brain if you have dementia already.
Yeah, that's true. I would also probably choose mind, mostly because I see my grandpa now, and my grandpa he's 89, 88, 89, upper 80s, and physically, great health. Still able to walk on his own, unsupported, move around, but his mind is going, and it's so hard to see, and it's scary because that's one of my biggest fears is to lose my mental facilities.
I'm so shocked how much in common you have with my husband, more than with me. Because I always thought that you're an extrovert. Turns out you're an introvert.
You and I are very similar, except he's a lot smarter. Anyway, do you have a secret hunch about how you will die?
No, I definitely know what I want people to do with my body after, but I
Okay.
don't know how I'm gonna die.
I think if I'm going to die, I'm probably going to die because of ill health. Something I feel like I don't take care of myself as well as I should. Diabetes or
Mm.
something along those lines. A fall, maybe. I'm a pretty clumsy person. I've gotten very lucky with not being super injured by some things, but I've definitely had some pretty bad accidents, and I was in my 20s and I was fine, and now in my 30s you worry more. You worry more about a trip or a fall, things you might be slower to get up from. So something like that, or something stupid. I could see something stupid happening, like a escaped rhinoceros plowing into my car, and that's how I would become famous. Anyway, now for question 8, we have to name 3 things you and your partner appear to have in common. 3 things we
I
have in common.
just told you I'm so confused by how many things in common you have with my husband rather than me.
But it's about you now.
I knew.
You.
Let's say we love D&D, both of
Yes,
us.
we do love D&D.
We love improv.
We do love improv.
We do love a good chat.
We love a good chat. Cool. Thanks for giving me tough stuff now. 3 things I think we both love to sing. We both love music,
We
I
do.
think.
True.
That's
Yeah.
fair to say. We both like traveling and like living abroad. I think like expanding that circle. No, am I wrong? Whatever, it's just appear. It doesn't have to be
All right,
actually.
all right, all right, all right,
It
all right.
appears like
Appears like.
it appears like. And third thing that appears like we have in common, we both like to date introverts.
Mic drop.
Yeah,
All right.
right. Okay, number 9. For what in your life do you feel most grateful?
Oh, for my daughter. That's easy.
Easy.
No, really. No, she's great.
My wife. Cheesy answer, but 100%. Flying through them now. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, what would it be? Oh, I have an answer.
Me too.
Okay, go ahead.
I'd be praised for what I do more rather than criticized.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I mean, did get a lot of like constructive criticism, not like that I've been horribly manipulated and criticized, but my parents felt like they needed to let me know the truth all the time and the real like criticism, but I'd love some just blind support.
Fair enough, right?
Yeah.
For me, it would be that I would have been made or forced to do more chores around the house.
Oh.
I was very fortunate, quote unquote, that I don't know, fortunate. My mother was quite particular about how clean the house needed to be. And often, if I was asked to clean or do something, I would do it, but I would often not do it well. And this is like a weaponized incompetence thing a lot of men employ, which I am working hard against now. And I've identified it because it's okay to do things wrong and you learn and you get better at it. Doesn't matter. I can load the dishwasher. It's fine. But yeah, it's my mom would just like she would just vacuum instead or whatever. If my room was getting too messy, she's like, I can't live with this. I have to clean your room, and she would just go in and clean my room. So I wish that I had been asked to and expected to do more chores and maintain the house better, because when I first like moved out, awful at it. And it still carries on 12, 13, 14 years later.
It's good that you think about it and try to change. That's already something.
That's the
Tiny
thing, right?
steps.
Yeah, that's the tiniest step. The actual big step is doing the thing that I'm saying. Words are easy, actions are hard. Question 11, and Camilla, this is the second last question in the first set. So, question 11. Take 4 minutes and tell your partner your life story in as much detail as possible. 4 minutes on the clock.
Wow. I start.
I can start if you'd like. You've been starting for most things. Okay, 4 minutes to tell my life story. So I was born in Vancouver, but raised in Surrey. Growing up, I don't remember the first house we lived in. We had like a little duplex or something. I just remember hearing stories about this. But we moved after my sister was born. Maybe she was about a year old, into a larger house. And this is where sort of my first core memories are. Things I remember about living in that house was just like weird little memories you get. My mom painting the walls of the house and taking a sponge and doing like a sponge texture thing, which is probably really big in the 90s, but is not really a thing anymore. And I think I helped out with that like a little bit before I got tired and was like, I'm done with this. Like any 3 or 4-year-old would do. There was another renovation thing that was happening, and all of like the furniture from the living room and was all piled up in boxes. And there was like these tons of boxes, and I was like, oh, it's so fun to like go in and explore and like go around there, even though I was not allowed to because it's dangerous. Good friend, like one of my best friends were my neighbors. There was Spencer, who lived beside me, but he ended up moving like a couple streets away later on. And then there was Shemek, who was on the other side of me. And Shemek and I became friends because when I was in grade 2, I believe, we were in gym class, and I got a ball kicked into my face, and my nose was bleeding, and I was crying because, I'm like 6 years old. And he was the person who walked me to the office to like get medical help. And he like talked me down, and he was really nice to me. So yeah, he was a really good friend of mine. And of course, my friend Braden, who lived like up the road a bit too. When I was in grade 3, we moved to Chilliwack. I went to a school called Unsworth Elementary, and then eventually to Watson Elementary. From Watson Elementary to your timing, checking the time, to Slessy, Mount Slessy Middle
Two
School,
minutes
to
left.
Sardis. 2 minutes left. Sardis Secondary School. We already talked about this, but I did lose my friends moving from elementary to middle school, and then sort of after moving to from middle school to high school, about the first year, I lost another group of friends. Graduated high school, went to university at the University of the Fraser Valley. My first year there, though, it was the University College of the Fraser Valley. After my first year, it got its university status approved. So it was officially a University of the Fraser Valley. Studied there for 5 years. Took a little bit longer for me to get my degree. Failed a couple of classes that I had to retake, very, very basic ones like English 101, I think I failed. Philosophy 101 the first year I failed, and I had to retake them to graduate. That's something that my family doesn't know. My mom would be mortified. I failed a Shakespeare class because I just didn't show up because it was late in the evening and it was so boring, and it was an expensive one. My parents also paid for my education, so they were paying for these classes that I failed, which is a little bit of a guilt thing I've always kind of held with me. After graduating university, I moved to Burnaby, BC, and was roommates with my good friend Casey. We were roommates for a year before we moved out. I started working at a pet food supply company. I moved in with my sister, and then I worked as a door to door fundraiser. And then I quit that, and I got a job offer in Russia. I moved to Russia and I started teaching English at a school. I met my future wife, came back to Canada, didn't think I'd ever go back to Russia again, went back to Russia again, lived there for 8 years, got married, and came back to Canada. And now we're trying to figure out the Canada stuff. And that's where I'm at.
Ta-da!
Ding.
Wow, it's actually 4 minutes.
Okay, I finished my 4 minute story of my life story in as much detail as possible. It is your turn, Camilla. It is your
All
turn
right.
for your
Yeah.
4 minute
So
story.
I was born in Moscow. I was born and raised in Moscow. My parents moved a lot when I was little. I don't really remember that. One of my grandma was in Moscow, another one was in Vyazma. It's a city in Smolensk Oblast, and we traveled there a lot. I absolutely loved doing that, even though my parents told me that I was scared of my other grandma, and I'm very sad that that happened. But I mean, what can we do? We, we were little. Yeah, so it's not really important. I was singing a lot since I was a little kid. Then I got into school. I struggled a lot with friends because everyone was thinking that I was like the girl with a high morale, and they were afraid to tell me that they smoke or that they drank and stuff like that. Even though I did some of this stuff, not all. I mean, I didn't really get into drinking up until I was in college, I think. Neither did I smoke because I was singing all the time and I was really afraid of having problems with my voice. Yeah, I have a very interesting breakthrough moment when I was a teenager when I went to New York to my friends. I fell in love. Oh my God. It was like, wow. And it was a very romantic love. We didn't say each other that we love each other up until we left, up until I left, which was interesting because we talked a lot. We went to lovely walks, and then we shared extremely beautiful letters with each other. I think I was seeking that kind of love later. I was trying to exchange letters with another boy, like real letters that you send through post, but it didn't go anywhere because I was basically the only one writing them. He was like, "Oh yeah, they're great. They're great. I love that," but he never actually wrote anything like that. That sucked. Then I went to college and I studied political science, and I really quickly got into politics in Russia. And I worked with Navalny and Gutkov and Romanova, and I absolutely loved it. Yeah, I love that. I got really burned out real quickly, and then yeah, I burned out. I changed fields. Then I moved to another country. I changed fields again. I was working in IT here, and then I got a daughter, and there was also COVID before that, and life changed dramatically in all aspects for me. And I'm still, I think, trying to adjust. to the situation. I think I skipped a lot.
But I mean, it's a life story told in a short amount of time. Of course, you're skipping a lot. All right. And our final question for set one is, if you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would it be? Okay. The first thing that came to my mind was either motivation, determination, or perseverance. I find that the way am, if I want to start something, often I start it strong but fall off pretty quick. So either I lose motivation or I'm not persistent in the thing that I want to do, um, whatever that may be. So I think, yeah, probably persistence, staying on the task at hand and keeping going even when it's difficult, even when I don't want to do it. Rather than being motivated, I'm quite motivated to do things. I'm quite motivated to do the things that I'm interested in doing, but it's the perseverance to stick with something when it gets difficult, when it gets hard, when it's not something easy to do. And there's few things in my life that I've stuck with because even when they got difficult, in spite of them not being easy. And I would like to have more things that I would stick with. So the quality I would like to have or ability I would like to have is perseverance to continue to do the things that I'm interested in, even when maybe I'm no longer am interested in it.
Wow, that's deep. Because the first things that came up to my mind were very dumb,
Mm,
like coding or doing video editing better. But after you said,
those are
I
great.
actually, yeah, but like, not that. I think the thing that I came up, so basically, what I'd like to have is stop worrying about what other people would think of me, or yeah, or just generally stop comparing myself to other people, stop worrying about other people more than I worry about myself, and just yeah, care about myself more, and finally learn how to accept compliments, because I anytime people tell me like, hey, you did a great thing, I'm like, yeah, whatever, it's not that a big deal. And I was like, it's not yeah, yeah, I'd love to have that. Well, there is another one.
Perfect.
Oh, but it's
Oh, okay,
it's just
let's do
one,
the other one.
just one. I'd
Yeah. Oh,
love
I don't care.
to I'd love
We make the
to
rules,
know.
Camilla.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm already falling in love with you. Um
Oh, look at that.
I'd love to. I forgot what I wanted to say. No, wait.
Remember the things that I want to say. I'd love to be able to remember the things that I want to
that'd be
say.
that'd be nice. What did I want to say? Oh yeah, sure. I'd love to know what I want to do in life in terms of like career or project perspective, because I'm struggling a lot realizing what I want to do, what kind of job I want to find, and I maybe come up to thinking that I will never be a fit for one role. So I'm probably a better project person. I'd probably just hop from one project to another, and I'd never be like product manager for my whole life. And I'd grow from a junior one to a regular one, and then to a senior one, to a probably a potential chief product officer. I hate hierarchy of that kind of sort. I don't like corporate world. Anyway, that was not about that, but about me struggling to find the true purpose of my life. I also love this videos how just listen to your inner self, and you will hear the voice within, and it will tell you where to go.
I
No,
mean, I don't trust myself. I don't trust my inner voice. My it's quite negative. I don't know about you, but my inner voice is quite negative.
no, well, my inner voice always tells me like, Camilla, you gotta eat this chocolate bar. It's waiting for you. And here is this meringue brulee that you bought. You love it, and you know you love it. You gotta have it now. Although, no, I don't. Mm, Anyway,
So that's set one. of these 36 questions. We'll get more into it in the next episode, I think. This has been fun. I've learned a lot about you. Hopefully you've learned a little bit more about me.
I did.
Yeah, it's just that much closer to falling in love, so it's very exciting.
I feel like it should be smooth operator.
I don't.
Oh no.
Anyway, so yeah, next we'll be doing more of these questions and learning just a little bit more about each other. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening. This has been Josh and
Camilla.
Camilla. Yeah. We'll see y'all soon.
Bye-bye.